The second question of this week is again from chapter 4. So the question is, okay, we have a figure 4 here. So we have two blocks. Block M1 and M2 is being pulled to the left. Okay, so we have the information of the external force is equal to 1000 Newton. Mass number 1 is 3 kilogram. Mass number 2 is 15 kilogram. We need to determine the acceleration of the block system. Okay, and also we want to determine the tension of T1. So before we solve our question, we make sure that we know for every block M1 and M2, it has forces acted on the block. So let's say for M1, we have external force. At the same time, we also have T1 directed outward from M1. And for M2, we also have T1, but this time it is acted to the left. Because they are sharing the same string, the value of tension to the left and to the right is equal, so that is T1. So to solve this question, okay, we make sure that we know the direction of motion is to the left because our two blocks are pulled to the left. So to find out acceleration, we are applying the equation of summation of force is equal to ma. Okay, so for this kind of question, we are focusing on blocks separately. Okay, so for M1, okay, we start with M1. Okay, for M1, we have M1. The forces acted on M1 is only external and also T1. Okay, so the equation for M1 is equal to force minus T1 is equal to MA. Okay, so our mass is M1 and you can substitute our force is 1000 minus T1 is unknown equal to M1 is 3A. Okay, so we have two unknown quantities. This one is becoming equation number 1. By using this equation, we still cannot solve acceleration because we have unknown T1, meaning that we need to use the information from block number 2. So block number 2, if we draw the forces acting on the block, okay, so we only have the tension T1 directed to the left and our acceleration is also directed to the left, meaning that equation of forces acting on block number 2 is T1 is equal to MA. This is equation number 2. So to solve this, we can substitute equation number 2, okay, into 1. Equation number 1. So we have 1000 minus M2A. Okay, minus M2A is equal to 3A. This is equal to 1000 equal to 15A plus 3A. Let's use our calculator and we'll get our acceleration is equal to 55.56 meter per second squared. Okay, so this is our acceleration. So for the next question, that is question B, we want to find the tension T1. So to solve this one, we can use the equation number 1 and also equation number 2. So I choose the shorter one. So I choose T1 is equal to M2A. Okay, so we have got A from the previous question. Our M2 is 15. Our acceleration is 55.56. And finally, you'll get T1 is equal to 3.33 Newton. So again, let's have so as usual, please double check your calculation and also your final unit for your final answer.